Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's reading is the final of our 2023 predictions series. We started off with general predictions and then there was also a love life video. So if you guys haven't checked those out yet, please feel free to do so. But today we are looking at your career and or studies, as well as your money situation in 2023. So we're gonna look at the general energies of what's going on in the year, and we're also going to look at a chronological progression. So what's going on at the beginning of the year and, all the way to the end. So there are 3 readings for you guys to choose from today, and with each reading we're going to be using a different tarot deck, and there's also a different crystal on top of each of them to help you choose. And I'm also going to show you guys a card from each deck in just a second so that you can see both what the back looks like as well as the front artwork. So you could be drawn to the back, you could be drawn to the front, you could be drawn to the crystal. There's a few different factors to help you choose your group. And today the card that I'm going to show you guys is the Ace of Wands. That's just the one that I felt really called to use, and I think it's really nice. It's about inspiration, passion, vitality, creativity, and I hope that whatever you're working on in this coming year, whatever goals you're pursuing, that you are filled with those things and that anything you're pursuing is very fruitful for you. So without further ado, let's give you a close-up look at each of your options. Option number 1, your stone is Septarian, and your deck is the Botanica Oculta Tarot, and here is the Ace of Wands. Option number 2, your stone is Malachite, your deck is Tarot of a Moon Garden, and this is the Ace of Wands. And option number 3, your stone is Barite. Your deck is the Tarot of Luck and Happiness, and here is the Ace of Wands. Okay, so just in case you guys need a bit more time to pick, these are all of your options laid out side by side so that you can compare them and see which one is calling to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the Septarian and the Botanica Occulta Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about your career, your studies, and your money in the year 2023. So in this reading, we're going to look at the general energies that you'll be dealing with throughout the year, and then we're also going to look at a chronological progression of what's going on in your career throughout the year. And I also want to get personalized messages for you guys based on where you're at in your career and your career goals. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. But just before we get into it, I want to say if you guys enjoy the content on this channel, I'm also quite active on Instagram. I post pick a card readings there too, so feel free to join me over there as well. And if you guys liked the intro of this video with the floating temple and the song, you can listen to the full version of the song over on my music channel, and you can get merch with the floating temple on it on my website. So all of that is going to be linked down below for you guys. But without further ado, let's get into the reading. So the very first thing that I want to do is actually roll the astro dice. I just felt really called to use them today, and we are going to get a first glimpse into the overall energies that you'll be dealing with this year. Okay, so for group number 1s, we have 10, so that's representing the 10th house. We have Mercury and we have Cancer. Okay, so first of all, the 10th house, that's a great house to pop up in a career reading because that is the house that deals with our career, our position, our status. The fact that this is here is indicating that, well, first of all, career might be a major theme for you guys in the year 2023. It might be an area of your life where you are feeling the most fulfillment and where you are going through the most progress or like the most significant transformation. So when 2023 is over, you look back on the year and you're like, wow, I'm really proud of what I did in my career, or like, we really made big changes in that department. I think you guys get the idea. But this can also be indicating that in 2023, your ambition is going to be increasing and your discipline is going to be increasing. I feel like your drive to work and your drive to be productive is really at a high throughout the year. Of course, we're talking about the whole span of the year, so there's going to be ups and downs, but the feeling is that those ups and downs are higher than the ups and downs of an average year. And this can also be indicating that you are developing or continuing to develop a very positive reputation in your workplace or in your community. And it can also be indicating that your status is going to go up. So you could be entering into a higher position. You could be becoming more well-known, whether that's like, you know, clients are giving positive word of mouth about you or about your company, or growing a platform, but that probably depends on the type of work that you do. If you're a student, it could be like teachers talking positively about you. And I should also say, for that matter, for those of you who are thinking of like applying to a school or applying to a new job, you could have some really, really positive references because like your reputation is so good and you're showing an excellent like work ethic. You could be getting some really, really nice letters of reference. You could even be getting a nod from someone in your field who's like very, very highly respected. So then it's like, you know, when someone really highly respected or like reputable gives you the thumbs up, then like you also become like reputable by association. So something like that could be happening where like one of the big guys gives you a boost like that. But that's what I see for the 10th house. With Mercury and Cancer here, this is kind of interesting because it is the 3 of Cups in tarot that is related to Mercury in Cancer. So I'm kind of looking at this as having a 3 of Cups-y sort of energy, which is all about friendship and coming together and celebrating. So I think that, okay, first of all, for those of you who are in some kind of team, your team is celebrating something in 2023, which means that you're hitting a very important milestone. If you're independent, if you're working on something by yourself, this can also be indicating that like you and your friends are celebrating an important achievement. But the word milestone is really coming to my mind, and like you should really be proud of yourself and you should really celebrate that. I also think, you know, the 3 of Cups here, it's kind of, I would say, an opposite energy of the 10 of Cups because, or why did I say 10 of Cups? I meant to say the 10th house because 3 of Cups and 10 of Cups are not opposite, but I'm going to remember that I had that slip because maybe 10 of Cups energy is relevant to your year as well. I was gonna say the 3 of Cups and the 10th house are kind of opposite energies in some way because the 10th house is kind of like we're serious, we're getting to work. 3 of Cups is very lighthearted and playful. So this could be Spirit's way of saying like, make sure you work hard, but also play hard. Make sure that you make time for your friends, for your hobbies, for leisure, to do whatever you want, because that is going to recharge you. It's going to bring you inspiration. It's going to keep your body healthy because rest and play and laughter is so important. But I also think this is indicating that you guys are going to be getting along very well with the people you work with. So like coworkers, classmates, teachers, clients, you're getting along quite well. And Spirit also wants you to know that these people have your back. And the way it's coming through specifically is that like these people genuinely care for you and want to succeed all together. So it's so weird, and maybe some of you need to hear this specific message, but it's like Spirit wants to reassure to you that the people around you would not like turn their back on you and backstab you if they were presented with an opportunity to move up without you, you know? Like they wouldn't suddenly throw you under the bus and be like, oh, I'm taking this position and like leave you behind. The idea is like, I got your back and we're in this together. And I think it's relevant that I had that slip and said the 10 of Cups, because that's a really, really happy energy. It indicates emotional fulfillment, which is awesome to get in a career reading. Like, it's not just that your financial needs are being met. It's not just that you're working hard and doing a good job, but that you're genuinely happy and you have everything you could ever ask for. 10 of Cups can also indicate, like, it's making me think of quality time with your family. So no matter how hard you're working or how busy you might get, I do think that you're going to be able to spend a nice amount of time at home. You could even be working from home and spending time with your family, especially for those of you who have children. There's like a very positive message that you will be around a lot and, you know, get to spend time with your kids and watch them grow up and watch them succeed in their endeavors as well. Yeah, and I didn't realize before, but like Cancer, that could also be an indication of happy family times, and it can also be an indication of working from home or, you know, getting to spend more time at home. It could also be some of you guys, Cancer in the 4th house makes me think of cooking, I guess because I think of like cooking being a homey type of thing. So like you guys could be involved in a culinary field or in like the restaurant industry. What else? Like interior design, house cleaning, house clearing, like energy clearing of people's spaces, and also transportation, something with cars or some type of transportation, maybe flight attendant, something like that. Yeah, and then with Mercury, I just feel like there's going to be a lot of buzz about you because there's a message about your reputation improving. This could be that indication of like positive letters being written about you. There's definitely positive word of mouth about you, whether that's like, you know, with the higher ups at work or the teachers or potential clients. Like, people are talking about you. Oh, you need this person, you should go to group 1, you know, that kind of thing. If you guys are on social media or you have a blog or something like that, I feel like Mercury is indicating a lot of traffic coming your way, and you could also be featured or published somewhere. So like your name's kind of getting out there. With the 10th house, this is the most visible part of the sky. It's like right up there at the top. So you're definitely getting your name out there. But with Cancer, you're still living in a low-key way, you know? It's not like you're becoming the talk of the town and then everyone wants to like know about your personal life and like everyone wants a piece of you. It's not like that. It's just like, oh, group 1 did something amazing. That's awesome. Now I'm gonna go mind my own business. So you can keep living kind of your low-key and comfortable life. And then also Mercury and the moon, which rules Cancer. These are both the fastest moving like celestial bodies in the solar system. So this could be indicating like things are happening quickly for you this year. We're moving up quickly. We're moving up to this high status, high reputation quite fast. Okay, so now we're going to get some personalized messages for you guys, and I'm going to use the Apparition Tarot for this. I'm going to get 3 cards from this deck, and there will be one for those of you who are at the beginning, the middle, and the end of a cycle in your career. It's very much up to you where you feel you're at, and you could be at multiple places because, for example, maybe you're in the middle with one of your projects and at the beginning for another one, because maybe you have a lot of things going on. But just for an example, the beginning of a cycle would be like looking for a new job, or you've just started a new job. Middle of a cycle would be you've been in your current job already for quite some time and are not necessarily planning to make changes. And then the end of a cycle would be, and I just saw 1111, you're looking to leave your job, or you just left your job, or something of that nature. So okay, for my group number 1s, let's start off for those who are at the beginning of a cycle in their career. We have the 2 of Cups, okay, which is more Cancer energy, by the way. And then for the middle of a cycle, we have the Queen of Pentacles. And for the end of a cycle, We have, oh, the Ten of Swords. That's very literal. Okay. So for those of you who are at the beginning of a cycle, we have the Two of Cups here. So if you look at this imagery, the Two of Cups is about relationships, but you can see with this hand holding here, this is quite a close, I dare say even intimate relationship. So this could be indicating for some of you, like if you're looking for a new job at this time, you could be introduced to a new opportunity by a love interest, by a spouse, a partner, or someone who's really, really close to you, like a close friend. This could also be you partnering up with like your spouse or with a close friend to work on a business together. I also think with the Two of Cups here, for those of you who have started in a new position, I think that you're going to develop really significant relationships where you are. Some of you guys could even be finding love. Like if you're thinking of starting a new job or starting a new study path, or you have recently, your soulmate or like someone you will fall in love with or develop a really, really close relationship could be in this environment. So keep your eyes out. You know, butterflies, keep your eyes out. Yeah, keep an eye out. Butterflies often make me think of transformation, but in this case, it's making me think of like someone giving you butterflies. So like you're meeting someone who gives you butterflies in a work or school environment, or like you're partnering up and starting a project with a loved one, or being introduced to a new opportunity by a loved one. And also, for those of you who are married, I think that this is indicating that both you and your spouse are going to be very successful in 2023, which is awesome. And so if you guys have a family together, that's going to be so great for your family. Okay, moving on to the middle of a cycle, we have the Queen of Pentacles. This is an awesome card as well. This is for those of you who have been doing what you're doing for quite some time and you're going to keep going. And it's awesome that you're going to keep going, because the Queen of Pentacles is a sign of great abundance coming your way. We can see that with the wheat. This is an energy of harvest. You are reaping what you've sown. There may be some things that you invested or like effort that you put in 2022, and you're really going to see the payoff in 2023. And there's also a level of mastery here. There's a level of mastery with the Queen of Pentacles. So some of you guys are kind of making it to the top with what you're doing. So you could be having a promotion in 2023, or maybe like you're in your final year of a certain program. But some of you are even getting to like the highest position you can possibly be, or you're becoming one of the top people in what you do. So like, I don't know, let's say you're a dentist and then you become like one of the highest reputation dentists in your state or something like that. You would be in the top positions if there were like a ranking, you know? The best of the best. That's the feeling that the Queen of Pentacles gives me. She also sometimes gives me the vibe of like she's training a younger generation, or she's like a mentor for a younger generation. So in 2023, you could be training new employees, or you could be getting employees. Like if you're a business owner, for example, you could be creating a course so that people can do what you have done. Or just like she very generously shares her advice and like shares her gifts. At the very least, I feel like this year there would be a lot of people asking you like, how did you do it? You know, how did you reach that level of success? Or what was the process that you went through to finally, you know, get offered this position? And you're kind of explaining to people. I'm thinking of like at school now, some of the alumni have come in this past week and they talk about like, oh yeah, I moved on to get a job at this big company. And then we're all asking questions like, oh, what was the job interview process like? And what kind of skills do you need? And blah, blah, blah. So, you know, you're like the person who's been there, who's been successful, and you're explaining to the upcoming people and like teaching them what you know. I also think that we already spoke about this being really strong financial abundance, but this could be a year where you're being quite generous with your resources, particularly in terms of donations, I think. Like, you have so much money left over, like disposable income, and I can see you guys, because it seems like you're in a very like generous, nurturing, and like you want to help other people. So you could be, I feel like you're donating to some like organization, or maybe you're volunteering, but you have so much, and so you're in a very generous energy this year, which is awesome. So moving on, for those of you who are at the end of a cycle, we have the Ten of Swords. And, you know, I made that comment when this card came out that this is very literal, because the Ten of Swords does represent an ending. I'm just looking at how like long this arm is and it's making me think of someone who is overextending themselves. So if you guys have already ended the cycle in your career, I think Spirit is saying that was the right choice. If you are considering to end something, I think this is Spirit's confirmation that that would be good for you, because what I see with this is that you're spreading yourself too thin, or you were spreading yourself too thin. And this was a situation that was mentally draining you. The shells are making me think of vacation. I think you guys might need a little bit of a break before you hop into the beginning of the next cycle. But I'm also thinking of how like you put your ear to a shell and you can hear whispers from Spirit. You can hear messages from the ocean. I do feel like if you're at the end of a cycle, this is a time to take it easy. And embrace stillness. So for example, if you just got out of a job, rather than being like, oh, I just got out of my job 2 days ago, I already have to start my next one, to just take a breather in between and get back in touch with yourself. And I think through the stillness, you're going to be receiving messages from Spirit about what your next steps are. And Spirit's saying like, choose your next steps carefully. And that's not like a threat or anything. It's just that we don't want to be too eager and too quick and jump back into a new cycle and then have the same thing happen to us again. So, you know, this energy of being spread too thin, of being mentally drained. This can also make me think of like, there's so many people breathing down your neck, or like it's very strict. You're always being told this and that. And, you know, it's like, leave me alone. It can be that type of environment. Spirit's saying like, choose your next thing carefully. Don't choose a next thing just because, oh, we have to get back to work. But, you know, reflect on what you didn't like about the last cycle. And be deliberate in the next path that you choose, so that we can live a life that is more peaceful. And Spirit will definitely help you, but this is like a period of reflection, I think. And I don't know, with all these opinions coming at you, this could also be, maybe you feel pressure, you know, like maybe you're taking a gap year, for example, and everyone's like, so when are you going back to school? Or like, what are you going to do next? And you're like, I don't know. But like every time someone asks you, it just makes you more agitated. And it's like, okay, well, if you gave me some room to think about it, if you gave me some time to breathe, maybe I could reflect. So honor the process, I think. And I know like it's hard when that pressure is getting to you and everyone has something to say, but it's okay to take a break. It's okay to reevaluate your path, no matter how old you are, no matter how much time you put into your last endeavor. It's always okay to rest and reevaluate and change. And you have Spirit's full support for the decisions that you've made with regards to the end of this cycle, or the decision that you're thinking of making. You have Spirit's full support. Okay, so next we're gonna look at some oracle cards. We have Perfect Moments, Chalice, Fulfillment, I love that. And then we have Abundance. Okay, again, very literal, very nice. And it says money increase, stability, and wealth. Then we have Moon, trust your instincts, befriending the shadow side. Creative Relics, it was a strong idea once perhaps, but sometimes you outgrow ideas. Evolution is more powerful than achieving outdated goals. Interesting. And then finally we have Escape. Oh my gosh. So yeah, for those of you who are at the end of a cycle or you're thinking to end a cycle, Spirit is showing very clearly that that is definitely for the best. We literally have escape here. I'm thinking of, this is kind of a spooky image, honestly. It kind of looks like someone crawling out of a graveyard or something, but I feel like, you know, with this person lying on the ground, I feel like for those of you who are at the end of a cycle, Spirit's like, you're exhausted. You don't have to feel this way. There's a feeling of like overworking yourself, or there's too much stress, and you could be kind of putting yourself through this because there's a part of you that's like, I just want to see it through. And we've become so focused on like seeing something through to the end or not being a quitter that like it's like we stopped prioritizing our well-being and we stopped prioritizing our passion. So just to give an example, let's say you're in like a very specific university program and you've already kind of made most of your way through it and there's like a bit left to go, but you're really not enjoying yourself anymore. You don't even want to do the career that is associated with this program anymore. But you're like, no, I have to hang in there because if I change paths now, it means that I'm a quitter. Or I can't start fresh from now because I'm already X years old, or I've already come this far. But it's like, this is like a tower situation, because the longer you ignore that, I just used this analogy the other day because the tower card came out, but the tower in tarot is built on a shaky foundation. And so let's say we've built like 5 stories of the tower and we realize, oh shit, this structure is not stable. We better start like building another one, or we better start over. And you're like, oh, come on, we only have 2 more stories to go. Let's just finish the tower. Well, then what's going to happen? You're going to be living in a shaky tower, and one day it is going to fall down, because you can't ignore what your heart is saying forever. Or maybe they're like, oh, we can't start over because it's already been this many months that we've been working on this tower, and if we start over, then we're going to be behind schedule. But you're going to be even more behind schedule if you ignore the red flags and you keep building the tower higher and higher and higher. Because if a tower is built on a shaky foundation, it has to come down at some point. So some of you guys, it's like the best time to get out of this situation was yesterday, and the second best time is today. Like, for those of you who need confirmation that it's okay to, and the word that comes to my mind is give up, and maybe that's the way that you guys like, or that your ego sees it, but it's prioritizing your well-being and it's prioritizing your passion. So that's a strong confirmation for those of you who are in this energy. And we even have the moon, which is like, trust your instincts, trust your emotions. I think deep down you know, but then you kind of overthink and you're like, yeah, but there's this and this and this factor. But no, like, your heart is telling you quite clearly. I feel like I haven't said this in a while, but I tend to think like when we're struggling to make a decision, whatever comes before the but is like the more important thing. So like, I'm not passionate in this program of study, but there's only 1 year left, so it's fine. Like, no, the main thing is that you're not happy, so let's just take that. Or, you know, like, I really want to follow this dream, but I'm scared that I'm gonna fail. No, just ignore everything after the but, because your truth is like at the beginning. That's the feeling that I get. I don't know, maybe that's helpful for some of you, but let's look over here, because this is an energy for everyone. That fulfillment and abundance is in your future. Not only that, but it's your birthright. This reminds me, well, it literally is the cup in tarot, the chalice, but it reminds me of the Ace of Cups, because there's one and it's a cup and it talks about emotional fulfillment. So I love that Spirit's really showing you guys that you don't have to compromise. Like, you don't have to sacrifice your emotional fulfillment for material security. You can have both. And I think that honestly, anyone who chose this group is going to find both in the year 2023. If you follow your heart, you will have both material security and emotional fulfillment. And I keep wanting to tell you guys that, like, this is your birthright. With perfect moments, I do feel that Spirit is letting you guys know that everything will happen at perfect timing. But there's also something, is idyllic the word? Like ideal, dreamlike. I think you guys could be like, you're reaching some kind of peak this year, and you're either living your dream lifestyle or you're getting very, very close to it this year. But there's something about like treating yourself or splurging or having this like picture perfect moment. Maybe some of you guys are going on like a trip to your dream destination, or you're finally purchasing like a dream. Maybe there's like a bag that you've really wanted to get for a long time and you finally get to purchase this bag. Or like you've been wanting to redecorate your home for a really long time and live in your dream home. It's like your picture perfect moment, your dream moment is coming your way in 2023. And the number 28 here. Oh, there's a couple things that this could be talking about. 2 and 8, we have partnerships and abundance. So some of you guys could be succeeding with a business partner, or again, this is indicating like you and your spouse or you and your significant other are both being successful at the same time in 2023. This can also be indicating a new beginning coming, because 28 reduces to 1. And I'm thinking of like someone who's in their late 20s, you know, they're reaching the next decade of their life. And I think Spirit is saying in 2023, like you're setting yourself up to reach a significant milestone, like before the next decade of your life. So like if you're 36, for example, Spirit's like the efforts that you're putting in this year, like you're well on your way to, I don't know, becoming a millionaire by the time you're 40, or whatever your goal is, like becoming manager by the time you're 30 or something like that. You're reaching a very significant goal before the next decade of your life. I want to check on Mr. Wolf here in my spirit animal book and see what he's trying to tell you. Here we go. Characteristics and behaviors that no longer serve your spiritual purpose are being culled from your consciousness. Make cooperation a priority over competition. Valuable insights, ideas, and new teachings are coming your way, so pay close attention. It's important to maintain your self-esteem and integrity and deeply trust in your inner knowing, even when you feel misunderstood or misaligned. You're being spiritually and psychically protected at all times, so there's really no need to fear. That is such a nice message for this group. I also want to point out this is on page 284, and we were just talking about 28. So this could be a relevant number for you guys. But let's finally get into the tarot deck that you guys chose, and we're going to look at, and I just saw 3030. For those of you who aren't 30 yet, that's going to be like a peak year for you guys, a very successful, very abundant year. Even if that's not in 2023, just letting you know. Okay, so we're going to see our chronological sequence of events. So we're starting off with the 3 of Cups. So we have 3 of Cups, 3 of Cups energy here, 2 of Cups. There's a huge focus on like just being so in love and so happy with the people around you and the people you're working with. Like you couldn't ask for a better team. You couldn't ask for a better partner. You couldn't ask for better clients. It's awesome. And there's a feeling of like play and celebration. You could have a work environment that's very, like, don't get me wrong, you get shit done with this energy, but like it's a very chill, very relaxed environment. Maybe like you're playing music together, or like you, I don't know, you play games on your break or something like that. There's this environment of fun and leisure and playtime in your work environment. And yeah, like Cancer energy seems quite strong. Maybe Cancer season is going to be like an important time of the year for you guys, like late June to late July. We also have Gemini energy with the Ten of Swords, so late May to late July, let's say. Okay, then we have, are you kidding me? The Two of Cups again. Okay. Then we have the Four of Cups. And the Three of Pentacles. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Cups. Okay, so one thing that will be true for all of you, regardless of where you're at in your career, is that in 2023, we are abandoning projects that bring no like emotional fulfillment, or that like we don't feel like they really bring us closer to our spiritual purpose. Like, gone are the days that we are working just for money, that we're working like just for security. We are doing something with purpose. We're doing something that fills our heart, that we really feel we're making a positive impact, and that we feel like is in alignment with who we are as a soul. So not just any old job. We're looking for something with deep purpose. The amount of cups that we have here, there's so much emotion here. We even have the chalice on this card, and like a water droplet here, and cups and Cancer. Like, there's so much water energy here. And this tells me that, you know, I think everybody would like to have a job that they enjoy, obviously. But this group in particular, it's like you need to be doing something that your heart is in it, that you feel emotionally connected to, that you deeply care about. I feel like this group doesn't do well with like, oh yeah, it's just a job, but like it pays bills and it's like, it's not bad. That's not the energy of this group. It's like you want to put your whole heart and soul into what you do. And the Eight of Cups is about walking away from just empty things and pursuing something that really has a deeper meaning for us. And it's kind of ironic because I feel like when you stop, or if you stop, pursuing opportunities just for like the financial payoff, you're actually going to make more money, because when you do something that you're really passionate about, you do a much better job and it energizes you. So it's like you're doing work and then you're putting energy into your work and it gives you energy right back. So it's like you're more consistent, you do a better job. When you put your soul into something, people can tell. So when you put your soul into what you make, into what you share, it's going to be received so much better, because people can tell really that your heart and soul is in it. And that's what keeps them coming back, because we all want that soulful energy. So you guys are definitely working on something this year that is really close to your heart and really close to your purpose. It's like a cause that you truly care about. So like, I don't know, okay, I can use myself as an example, because I used to be an English teacher in Japan. And it's not because I'm passionate about teaching. Like, I don't really think I was a great teacher because I wasn't passionate about it. It was just like, oh, this is an easy job for me to do because I'm a native English speaker. You know, it was kind of like that, and the pay is pretty decent. But someone who's really passionate about teaching, and like it brings them great joy to see their students grasp something and to, you know, get a better command of the language and expand their mind. Like, if that's what really makes them passionate, then they're going to be a kick-ass teacher, and then they're going to get more students, and then they're going to get a promotion. And you guys get the picture. That's the vibe that you guys are in 2023. I feel like many of you are already on this path, and this will just be a huge confirmation for you. But for those of you who are in this energy especially, like, this is what is waiting for you if you listen to your heart. So over here, you know, we have the Three of Cups and the Two of Cups again, which we have been talking about quite a bit because their energy just keeps popping up. This is the beginning of the year energy. We mentioned that like late May to late July could be a significant time for you guys. So I feel like this would be before that, you know? So like the very start of the year up until the end of May, this is your energy. I feel like things are still gonna be pretty relaxed during this time. I feel like you guys are gonna be working at a leisurely pace. You could be taking a vacation during this time, or like work is not too hard, or work is not too like overwhelming right now. So I feel like while career is going to be a big theme for you guys this year, maybe that's going to happen more so in the second half, because these are not very like work, money, career-ish type cards. This is more like spending time with your loved ones, enjoying your leisure time, enjoying your hobbies. So I feel like it's not that work is slow or that you're not getting work. It's just like we're cruising with it. That's the vibe that I'm getting. We're cruising with it, and we have a lot of time to do the other things that we love to do. For those of you who are in a new work environment, or actually you don't have to be in a new environment because maybe someone new is coming to you. I do feel like there's new people around you, whether you are going into a new environment or new people are coming into yours, but you're definitely going to make some awesome friends. And for those of you who are single, there's potential for a romantic connection to blossom in your work or school environment, and that's going to happen in the first half of the year. So now we move on to the second half of the year. We have the Four of Cups and we have the Three of Pentacles. So the Four of Cups, this could be a couple different things, but it does represent a turning point. For some of you, this is like you're getting kind of bored with what you're doing, because it's like I feel like you want more challenge, because here we're just kind of breezing through things, and at first that's fun, right? Oh, this is so chill. This is so like casual and relaxed, and it's more slow, so I can, do other things. But then once you're in that energy for quite some time, you're like, kind of want some challenge. I kind of want to like work hard. You're kind of getting in that, it's like you're bored, because the Four of Cups does talk about like, yeah, you're like that car. You're like, vroom, vroom, I want to go somewhere. I want to do something. Or that's probably not a car. That's probably like or maybe a motorcycle. I don't know. But anyway, you're like, I want to go somewhere. I want to do something. So yeah, it's around the middle of the year that you could be getting kind of like, kind of bored. Or this can also be indicating that you're getting overwhelmed. That's not necessarily a meaning of the Four of Cups, but for some reason that's coming to me. So like things were slow, but now they're picking up and you're getting like overwhelmed with it. And the answer to this is teamwork, which is what we have with the Three of Pentacles. This is about teamwork, collaboration, working hard, being dedicated to your work. So for those of you who are feeling that kind of dissatisfaction and boredom around, it's like, Wednesday is like hump day and it's the middle of the week and you're just like, I feel like you guys might have that energy. It's like a mid-year slump. In the middle of the year, you're like, it's like I want to do something different. I want to do something more challenging. And you will. In the second half of the year, you're entering into like a more challenging task. And for those of you who are feeling overwhelmed, it's like you're getting your team to help you out. So this could be you like getting employees or assistants, or like getting help from your classmates, getting help from your coworkers. Like Three of Pentacles is a teamwork makes the dream work type of card. So and I feel like you guys are brainstorming together of like new ideas to spice up your work or to make your work more manageable. But that's the overall vibe. First half, it's a breeze, it's awesome, it's leisurely, we're enjoying our relationships, we're enjoying like our hobbies and our fun time. Middle of the year, we're kind of like, and then the end of the year, we're kicking it into gear and we're working hard together. So this is the kind of vibe. And yeah, we spoke about the Eight of Cups. This is like your overall energy. So I think that that's everything for my group number 1. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also follow me on Instagram. I post weekly pick a card readings as well as new moon and full moon readings. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song. So if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below. And you can also check out my website where we have the floating temple merch. We have hoodies, we have mugs, we have tote bags, sweatshirts, all that kind of stuff. No, that's everything. Anyway, all that will be linked down below for you guys. So I'm sending you guys so much love. Lots of love to anyone you will be working with in 2023 and all of your loved ones. And also much love to your spirit guides and spiritual team. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 2s. So if you guys chose the Malachite and the Tarot of a Moon Garden, this is going to be a reading all about your career, your studies, and your money in the year 2023. So in this reading, we are going to take a look at the general energies of the year, but we're also going to look at a chronological sequence of events from the beginning to the end of 2023 and see what is going on for you. And we're also going to get some personalized messages for you guys depending on where exactly you're at in your career journey and what your goals are. So that's what we're looking at today. But before we get into it, I just wanted to mention that if you guys do enjoy the content on this channel, I also am quite active on Instagram. I post pick a card readings there as well. So feel free to join me over there as well. And if you guys liked the song and visual with the floating temple at the beginning of this video, you can listen to the full version of that song over on my music channel, and you can get merch with the floating temple at my website. So all of that's going to be linked down below. But without further ado, let's get into the reading. And I have to turn on the AC because I forgot to do that. And the first thing I want to do actually is roll the Astro Dice. I felt really called to use these today for some reason. So we're going to roll these and see what energies you guys are working with in 2023. Okay, so we have Leo. We have the Moon. And we have the number 3, which relates to the 3rd house. Okay, so starting off with the sign of Leo, when it comes to your career, this is a strong indicator that 2023 is a year where you are going to be in the spotlight and the center of attention with what you're doing, or Spirit is encouraging you to step into a role that allows you to be more in the forefront. Like Spirit wants you to get out there and show people who you are. This can also be indicating that you will be finding abundance in something that is creative in nature, or something to do with entertainment, or something that you're so passionate about that it feels like fun to you. This is also a strong indicator of being able to turn your hobbies or your interests into a career. And there's something specifically about like showing your face. So for example, if you were starting a tarot channel, this would be Spirit encouraging you not just to make videos like this with your hands, or I mean, you can start off like that, but Spirit wants you to get comfortable in like being more in front of people. You could be like putting yourself on camera, or you could be presenting or public speaking, or you could be the face of something. But Spirit wants you to like get out there and show people who you are and show people what you're made of. But I really think that work and studies for you this year are going to be so fun because it seems like you're involved with something that you're actually passionate about, that allows you to be creative, that allows you to express your individuality. You could be into art, you could be in fashion, you could be, like I said, in entertainment. And I just heard the word dynamic. You're doing something dynamic. So it's like, with the moon as well, you know, the moon moves very quickly through the sky and it has phases, it fluctuates. So, you know, for example, in the field of fashion, like the trends are changing with every season, or like even with content creation, you know, the trends are always changing, and you know, the different formats of content that you can create are going through their trends and their phases. I feel like you're doing something where you have to kind of be aware of the way the times are changing, or the way the energies are shifting, or the way the trends are going. You kind of have to stay on top of that. And the moon also indicates that there's going to be like a really nice variety in whatever you're doing. And you can kind of, for some of you, like you're going to be in a position where you can kind of wake up and be like, what do I feel like doing today? So like, to use myself as an example, I could wake up and be like, I feel like filming a video today, or I feel like making some Instagram post today, or I just kind of feel like, you know, tending to my emails today, or something like that. There's like, you're not just doing one thing all the time. I feel like the scope of what you do has a wide variety. And because the moon is about like our emotions and our whims and our fluctuations, like depending on how you're feeling on any given day, you could choose to do something that's like, you know, more exciting and fast paced, or more intensive, or like, I want to do something a little bit more chill today. Like there's that nice kind of variety. And for those of you who have like a wide range of interests, multiple skills, I mean, we all do, but I feel like you're finding a job, or your current position is going to allow you to like utilize all of your various skills. That's the feeling that I'm getting with the number 3 here. It does represent the 3rd house, but I feel like she's also giving Empress energy, because the Empress is the card number 3. There's something about, some of you guys could be doing something that involves like aesthetics, or that involves your beauty or your style, because Spirit's kind of hinting that you're very attractive, or you're very charming and charismatic, and this would help you in your career. I feel like people are naturally drawn to you. People naturally like you. They like your vibe. You being a people person and you being more social could really, really help you out in your career. Number 3, the 3rd house, it's also making me think of siblings. So like, you could be doing something that's similar to what your sibling is doing, or you could maybe enter into a certain field like based on your sibling's suggestion. A lot of the stuff that got me interested in Japan was suggested from my sister, like to listen to certain musical artists or to play certain video games. Like a lot of that was from my sister. So you guys could be, or maybe you have already been through something like that. That's the feeling that I'm getting with the 3rd house. Also like communications, media, languages, linguistics, literature, writing, like any methods of communication and conveying a message, in art as well, because we do have Leo here. So let's now take a look at the personalized messages. So I'm going to use the Apparition Tarot for this part of the reading. Oh my gosh, so wait, one more thing. I just noticed the 3rd house, this is Gemini, the moon is Cancer, and Leo is Leo. So between Gemini and Leo season, and I'm just like, wait a minute, that's really similar to what group 1 got. Maybe it's a collective thing. It'll be interesting to see what group 3 gets, but group 1 and group 2, your window's a bit bigger, I think, but late May to late August, I think, will be a significant time in your career, because that's like Gemini season to Leo season. That's cool how they came out in order like that. But yes, back to the Apparition Tarot deck. We're going to pull 3 cards from this deck, and I'm going to pull a card for those of you who are in the beginning of a cycle, the middle of a cycle, and the end of a cycle in your journey. It's really up to you where you feel like you're at in your journey. You might resonate with 2 or even all 3 of the messages, and of course you are welcome to claim any and all of the messages that come through. But just for an example, the beginning of the cycle would be like maybe you're looking for a new job or you have just started a new one recently. Middle of a cycle would be that you've kind of been doing the same thing for quite some time and are not really looking to change things up. And then the end of a cycle would be you have just ended a job or you are considering leaving. So let's get into the Apparition Tarot. I'm very impressed. The thick decks can be kind of hard to shuffle, but she did a nice job. So group number 2, let's get a card for those of you who are at the beginning of a cycle, and we have the Ace of Cups. I want to talk about this right away before I forget, because I don't know if the deck was fully in the frame, but I do pay attention to how the deck is actually behaving when the cards come out. And this one, it was kind of weird because usually when they come out, it like shoots out this way in the same direction that I'm shuffling it. But this one kind of like snuck out and like popped out from the side. So for those of you who are at the beginning of a cycle, like you're looking to start a new journey, I sort of got the message of like something kind of coming out of left field. Something kind of unexpected, you know, like you're on one path, you think you're doing one thing, and then all of a sudden this passion comes completely out of nowhere and you're like, oh, I cannot ignore this. Like, I don't know, maybe you're working towards one goal, studying one thing, and then all of a sudden you realize I'm super passionate about dancing, and then you just kind of shift. It's like spirit is just plopping a surprise passion or a surprise love into your life, because the Ace of Cups is definitely about falling in love. And I feel like this is talking about like falling in love with a new path that you want to pursue. And it's not really something that you expect. So that's something to look forward to in 2023. If you've already had this moment, then spirit is encouraging you quite strongly to pursue that thing in 2023, even if it seems random and just like out of left field. That's just how that's how spirit brings things into our lives sometimes, but it is going to bring you a lot of joy and a lot of fulfillment. And with the Ace of Cups here, for some of you guys, this passion could be introduced to you through like a new love interest. So for those of you, well, actually, you don't have to be single. It could be your existing partner. But I was sort of getting the vibe of someone like you meet someone new and, you know, you're developing a crush on them or developing feelings for them, and they do a certain thing for a living, or they have a certain hobby or a certain talent, and you're like, whoa, that's so cool. And then you get into it as well. It's like someone you have feelings for is like inspiring you. That's kind of the vibe I got with the Ace of Cups. But yeah. It's funny too, because you guys got an ace and you're at a new beginning. So this is a strong indication that your new beginning is going to be super fulfilling for you, especially emotionally fulfilling. I will say, because we have the fruit bowl underneath, I think your material success is ascertained as well, because this is making me think of you know, your efforts bearing fruit, as we say, and it kind of looks like a bounty of sorts, a plenty of sorts. So you're definitely not going without in the material sense, but the biggest thing for your career in 2023 is that you're going to be emotionally fulfilled. You're going to be doing something that you're really in love with, and that doesn't take away from your well-being. You know, this is a very peaceful card, so you know, I think every job has a little bit of stress, but I think that there's healthy stress and unhealthy stress. And I think that for the majority of the year, you'll be dealing with healthy stress. And for the most part, things are going to be quite peaceful. You could also be, I don't know, this cup just reminded me of a trophy. So you could be, this is probably specific, but like someone's winning a contest or winning some kind of competition or winning a tournament, winning an award. Let's get a card for those of you who are in the middle of a cycle. Okay, so we have the Tower. And for those of you who are at the end of a cycle, we have the Magician. Okay, so for those of you in the middle, we have the Tower. And if you guys are familiar with well, not just the Tower, if you're familiar with tarot, you may know that the Tower can be kind of a scary card. In general, it represents, again, it kind of represents things coming out of left field, which is something that I felt with the Ace of Cups. So regardless of where you're at, I feel like those of you who chose group number 2, 2023 is going to be full of surprises and, you know, twists and turns when it comes to your career, your studies. So for those of you who are in the middle of a cycle, like I mentioned before pulling the cards, this would be for those of you who have been doing the same thing, you've been in the same position, same job for quite some time, and you don't really have plans to change. But it does look like Spirit kind of has other plans for you. This is a major arcana, so this tends to indicate either like a really significant event or a major shift in your life, or something that's faded, or both. So this is giving me vibes of divine intervention. For some of you, this could be that you're going to be entering into a new job or a new field, and either you weren't expecting that or it's just happening sooner than you expected. For some of you, this could be like, oh, you were like, oh, I'm not going to stay in this job forever, but I think that at least for 2023, I am. But Spirit's kind of saying changes are going to happen sooner than you think. For others of you, you know, and it's quite clearly illustrated here with the House of Cards, you know how these things fall down. This would be Spirit indicating that for some of you, plans that you had regarding your career or your studies are going to fall through, but this is also a part of your journey. So it's really important to remember that you're still going to reach, is this a pile of money? Or maybe it's a pile of rubble, but it looks like a pile of coins. You're still going to reach your financial goals and you're still going to be successful. It's just that Spirit kind of has a little bit of different plans for you. So maybe this could be something like, just an example, hypothetical, so that you understand. Maybe you work for company A in department B, and you're thinking, okay, in 2023, I'm going to work really, really hard in department B, and I'm working towards this specific promotion. Like, this is the specific thing that I want. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get transferred to like department J, and you're like, what? This was not part of my plan. What? And it's frustrating because you felt like, or it's like scary because it's the unknown. You felt like you were working towards this thing, and then Spirit kind of picks you up and puts you somewhere else. But it's really important to remember that Spirit is putting you here because greater blessings await here. The thing that you really want is there. So in this example, perhaps I'm working towards the promotion because my goal is actually to have a certain salary. My goal is actually to have more financial freedom, and this is just my idea of what's going to bring that to me. But Spirit, seeing what I want, is like, wait a minute, but Department J, that's going to bring Group 2 to their goals faster, and that's actually going to be something that they enjoy more. So like, I'm sorry, I know that this is going to be jarring because you have your eyes on this thing, but let me just move you over here. And you're like, what? No, it feels like things are falling apart in the moment, and I guess your pre-existing plans are falling apart, but you're still right on track to your goal. And in fact, Spirit moving you was part of the path to your goal. So Spirit's either moving you so you can get to your professional goals faster, your financial goals faster, so that you can be somewhere that's more enjoyable for you, so that you can be around the right people. It's definitely happening for your best interest. But, you know, it's still a little bit scary when unexpected change happens. But it's really important to remember that after the Tower comes the Star. And the Star is the card that represents all of our dreams coming true and represents a bright future. And it also represents us, it represents the situation exceeding our expectations. Spirit saying, oh, you only made those plans because you didn't realize that you could go much farther than that. Here, let me show you. Let me show you what you're actually capable of. And it's like, I'm taking your dreams and I'm multiplying them. It's the vibe that I'm getting. So, moving on now, for those of you who are at the end of the cycle, we have the Magician, and it's interesting, you guys also got a number 1 card, same as the Ace of Cups. So if you're at the end of a cycle right now, 2023 is definitely going to be the new beginning. And with the Magician here, first of all, Spirit is saying you're ready for this new beginning, and Spirit is also saying that this new beginning can be whatever you want it to be, because the Magician is a very powerful manifester, and with their willpower, and with their intention and with their actions, nothing can stop them. They can bring anything it is, any experience, any blessing, any possession, any opportunity, any connection it is that they want into their reality. And I want you guys to claim this message not just for your career and studies, but for everything in your life, because the Magician is truly unstoppable. I think that this cycle, because again, this is a major arcana, so major events, fated events, this cycle was definitely meant to come to an end, but you're ready for the new beginning now. Like, you're ready for bigger and better things. And I honestly feel like this message can apply to everyone, regardless of where you're at in your journey. You are really on track to manifesting something beautiful. The Magician can also be an indication of doing something with your hands. Well, because there's physical hands on it, but that's just the vibe I get from the Magician, because he's like manipulating the fabric of reality. Maybe some of you guys are going to be into like gardening or landscaping or something with this plant here, or, you know, doing something that connects you back to nature, doing something natural, doing something holistic, something involved in health or healing or therapy, aromatherapy, plant therapy, if that's a thing, nutritional therapy, if that's a thing, I don't know. I mean, you can do anything, but that could be a confirmation for some of you guys. So I need to drink water, and then we're gonna look at some oracle cards as well to dive deeper into the energies of your year. So we have prioritize reflection, Spirit, initiation, destined, that makes a lot of sense, meant to be, have faith, believe, heaven on earth, it's here already, it starts within, creative magician, your talents are not limited, your creativity is your superpower, express individuality. And then finally, we have rumination. Okay, so there's definitely some recurring themes for this group. One of them is new beginnings, which I know we broke it up into beginning, middle, end, but I feel like all of you are going through some sort of new beginning in your career in 2023, so that's a big theme. Manifestation and your manifestations coming to fruition is also a big theme of 2023. However, there's an asterisk there that we don't necessarily know what the path looks like. We know we're going to get there, but we don't necessarily know how it's going to happen. So there's some kind of unpredictable events, divine intervention and divine redirection happening here. And yeah, there's element of destiny in this group as well. Like, we're moving forward on our destined path, and the things that we're trying to manifest align with our destiny. We also kind of have this double message, because I feel like reflection and rumination are kind of the same thing. Like when you're ruminating over something, you're thinking about it, you're sitting with it. I'm kind of getting the same. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this, 32, 32. And they're like a very similar message. Maybe some of you guys are going to be 32 this year. This could also be like, you could be a life path 3 or a life path 2 or a life path 5 if we add these up, which shout out if you are. I'm also life path 5. And what was I going to say? Oh, these can be dates like March 2nd or February 3rd. But yeah, we're definitely in a reflective energy. Seeing this, this person's reflection in the mirror, I think that in 2023, and it makes sense with Leo energy as well, because Leo is like our identity. It's the self, and it's feeling proud of ourself and confident of ourself and putting ourselves forward. I think that this year, whatever it is that you guys are doing, it's like you really see yourself in the work. The job really reflects like your natural preferences, your natural interests, your natural abilities, your vision, what you want to build for the future. It's like you can really identify with the work that you do. This might be a collective thing, and I don't know if you guys were drawn to group number 1 as well, but I feel like there's some similarities between this group and group 1. For one, that time frame was the same. And also there was this message in group 1 as well, that this year we're not just like doing any job or studying anything. It's like something that we truly see ourselves in. Like, yep, this is me. This is so me. Your job is so you. Like I just got this visual of someone who like you're meeting back up with a childhood friend who you haven't spoken to in a long time, and they're like, oh, so what are you up to now? Like, what are you doing for a living? And you say, oh, I'm doing this. And they're like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Because they knew you when you were younger. I guess they knew your most purest expression. They remember the things that you loved. They remember the things that you're good at. Or they just know your personality, and they're like, wow, it makes so much sense that you'd be doing that. Like, it must be such a good fit. It must be such a good match for you. I thought about that before and I didn't say it, but then I couldn't help it. Yeah, something that's really aligned with you, something that really reflects who you are, especially for those of you who are creative. It's like when you make something, people who know you could look at it and be like, oh yeah, group 2 definitely made that. Like that has group 2 written all over it. I just have to mention as well, I saw 2552 on the timer, and this is a number that's been following me around for months, or any variation of it. Like, what did I just say? 2552, 2255, 5252. Like this sequence of numbers has been following me for months, and Spirit is saying that with this number, and I'm like getting chills, but there's a big wave coming of like soul family reunions and soulmate reunions. I don't know how, well, it could be relevant to your career, but that number did appear for you guys, so I wanted to mention that. And even like with Spirit and initiation, like you're coming face to face with your higher self. I think this is a year where you're really getting to know your own soul and your own higher self on a deeper level. This could even be something that happens to you in a dream or a meditation, where you can actually like see your soul standing before you, you know, as if it's another entity that you can talk to, and actually like stand face to face with your soul and ask them questions, ask them for advice, or, you know, like sit down with your higher self and interview them. You're getting really, really acquainted with them, and you're going through some kind of initiation. It's like, we're ready. Yeah, because the Magician too says you are ready. You're ready for like the next phase in your journey, the next phase in your growth. And I feel like you guys have a very important mission with the work that you're going to do. And Spirit's moving you guys around, either like picking you up and moving you, or throwing things out of left field into your life, because it's time for you to answer a certain call. And whatever it is that you're doing this year is a part of your mission as a light worker, because you're doing something that you're passionate about, that allows you to express your individuality. And that's going to inspire and light up others as well. Like, you're really, with spirit initiation, with destiny, with heaven on earth as well, like raising the vibration of earth through what you do, simply because you're exuding so much joy and you're inspiring others to follow their joy as well. Yeah, this is a big year for you guys. Like, there's going to be a lot of this year is going to be fated events, destined events. So there could be things happening that are kind of different from what your brain planned or different from what your ego planned. But I think that there's also a deep knowing of like, this is supposed to be happening. I'm meant to be doing this. And I went through something similar this year where my brain was kind of resisting, but deep down my intuition was like, no, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing at this point in my life. This is what I'm meant to do. And my intuition was right. And I just kept going with it. I think heaven on earth is really talking about light work here. Like making the world a better place, making the world a lighter place. I want to see if there is a hummingbird in the spirit animal book. And if there is, I'll read the passage. Oh yes, there is. Okay. You need to be very flexible with the twists and turns your life will take in the next days. Okay. Definitely we're having twists and turns in 2023, but maybe something's happening for you guys in the next few days. Put more emotional sweetness in your life. You need it. You're going through some very heart-opening kinds of experiences, and you'll quite naturally draw more and more love into your life. So maybe that's talking about the waves of unions. I feel like this group is you're gonna have some kind of like fans or followers or admirers. Even if you're not a public figure, it could just be like really devoted clients, really devoted consumers of your work, who frequently express their appreciation to you and who are, part of the same soul group as you. Openly express the love you have and feel for those important people in your life. Give yourself the gift of as many flowers as you can, spread them around your home, and enjoy their sight and fragrance throughout the days to come. That's so sweet. And this is page 143, which is like, I love you, because that's the number of letters in each word. I love you. Oh, 143, that could be significant to you guys. Okay. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay. So yeah, I think this year is all about finding that balance between, manifesting, putting in our intentions, and also being open to the ways in which the universe responds to us. And always just reminding ourselves, like, the universe and I are working together. So when I set my intentions or when I speak my wishes, I know that whatever the universe does from here on out is going to be an answer to that. Even if it doesn't make sense to my brain or my ego, my heart will know that the universe is doing everything in response. And that's also, I just feel chills when I'm talking about it, even though, it's not the most uncommon message for me to say. I feel like I say similar things all the time, but it's really hitting for this group. When I speak these words, it's like, ooh, it just makes me really excited. And I love that we have magician, like double magician. Magician is related to the planet Mercury, which is Gemini and Virgo. So I think we said Gemini to Leo before, but Gemini season to Virgo season could be the window. So late May to late September. Your talents are not limited. So there's that idea of like diversity in your job, variety in your job, the thing that you're doing really playing to all of your interests and all of your skills. Your creativity is your superpower. A lot of people in this group are being called to do something more creative. And yeah, express individuality with that Leo energy. To put yourself out there, to put your creativity out there, to be in the spotlight. Wow. Okay, so it's water time again. And then it's time for the next tarot deck. So we're going to take a look at the chronological series of events. Oh, that came out really fast. That makes sense. The Chariot. So that's one of those funny instances where the way the deck is behaving matches up with the meaning of the card, because the Chariot is about speed and that card came out really freaking fast. And that's Cancer energy. This came out really fast too. The Nine of Staffs, which is the Nine of Wands. Then we have Temperance. Are there unicorns in... No. There's not unicorns in a lot of the cards. I'm just looking at it now, so I feel like it's relevant that you guys have so many unicorns. And then we have the Four of Cups. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Swords. Okay, let me just, I know that this book has a unicorn page because I've read it before. And it's funny because it's not like a real animal, but it's still in here. Here we go. It's vital that you pursue any creative or artistic interests, okay, we hear you loud and clear, that you've suppressed until now. You'll notice more signs and visitations from the nature spirits and elemental kingdom, such as the fairies and sprites. Let go of your worries and responsibilities for a while and just play and have fun. Suspend any disbelief and open yourself to perceiving any and all helping spirits from the non-visible world. You're going to meet some gifted children who have unusual artistic and creative talents, and you'll learn some important things from being around them. You're going to experience a surge in your personal power, so use it wisely. Woo! Okay, so I actually want to start off with the King of Swords card, which is sort of representing like the overarching energy. I feel that by the end of this year, you are living your truth. There's a level of mastery here, and there's a level of maturity because you're coming through as the king. So this is definitely showing you coming out of 2023 accomplished and with clarity. Swords represent truth, they represent mental clarity, they represent a certain like decisiveness, certainty. I kind of feel King of Pentacles vibe in here as well. But you're very sure. I feel like around the middle of the year, there's a little bit of uncertainty going on. We're not so sure about the path that we're on or like if things are going to work out. But by the end of the year, you're feeling very, very sure, which leads me to believe that, you know, there's going to be moments of unexpected changes, of uncertainty throughout the year where your brain is like confused or freaking out, but your intuition keeps telling you, like, keep going, just keep going. We're on the right path. And by the end of the year, that will be proven right to you. Because the King of Swords also represents that, you know, emotionally detached, logical, rational, analytical part of us. And it's like, the King of Swords is looking at your accomplishments and it's like, okay, I'm convinced. So it's like, following your intuition will prove you right every time. And eventually it will convince the logical part of you so that listening to your psychic insights, listening to the messages that you've received in dreams no longer seems like this crazy out there thing. And even the logical part of your mind is like, yeah, that's probably what we should do because it's led us to so much happiness and success before. And I've seen empirical evidence of how it works in my life. And like, you're getting that King of Swords in you on board. I should also say that more career-wise, the King of Swords can indicate you being in a high position or being in a leader position. Often King of Swords make me think of managers or directors, like they're managing a team of people or they're managing a complex project. Like you'll be in some sort of project manager position, or you are making creative projects and you're like the brains behind them, you know? So this would be, for example, a singer, but they're not just a singer. They also like create the concept for their music videos, and they also direct it, and they also make their choreography. It's like you're the brains behind a lot of the stuff that you do. You're the face of it, but you're also the brains of it. You're like the genius. The King of Swords is genius. But I love that you're coming out of the year with so much certainty, because when you're listening to that call from Spirit, there can be a lot of uncertainty going on there. Oh, wow. I just noticed that they're looking at their reflection in the water. So same as, ooh, okay. Just bear with me. So, oh my gosh, and then it ends with the Four of Cups. Okay. These images are literally telling a story. So, you're this person, okay? Or maybe you're the unicorn, it doesn't matter. Maybe this is like your spirit guide and this is you. But Princess and her unicorn are full speed ahead on a mission. They have to get to their destination by the next day. They're like, chop, chop, let's go. They're rushing forward. And then their chariot breaks down. How does a horse-drawn chariot break down? I don't know, maybe the wheel broke. So the chariot broke, and they're in the middle of the forest, and they're like, shit, we're never gonna get to our destination on time. That's this image. So they're like wandering around in the forest for a while, and they're starting to get frustrated. They're frustrated that the chariot's broken. They're frustrated that they won't get to the destination. They're just reflecting on all their choices. What has my life come to? How did it get like this? But then they come out of the forest into a clearing, and they see a pond. And when they walk up to the pond, they look in and they see their reflection, and it shocks them and it moves them. Is this what I look like? Is this me? They start reflecting on who they truly are. And why was I going to that destination again? Was that really my volition? Was that the will of this reflection I see? It's like a Christina Aguilera reflection moment. Who is that girl I see staring straight back at me? When will my reflection show who I am inside? So Spirit broke the chariot. And at first you're thinking, Spirit, that was a douche move. But no, because Spirit knew they would walk through this forest and they would find this pond, and they would look inside and remember who they truly are. The Four of Cups represents something that you weren't seeing. So whatever it is, this thing that's coming to you unexpectedly, this change of plans, this ending of a cycle, Spirit orchestrated that as an opportunity for you to see a part of your soul that was dormant, a part of you that you had forgotten about. For some of you, it has to do with your inner child, or like a long lost dream that you had, a long lost passion. But maybe you got caught up in the rat race, or you just got caught up in like being goal oriented and getting everywhere fast. It's like you were so focused on getting to the destination that maybe you forgot why you were going there. Or maybe you didn't take a moment to be like, is this still where I want to go? So Spirit was like, no, it's time to reflect, it's time to reevaluate, and broke the chariot. But as soon as you see your reflection and remember, you're like, I could not care less about the chariot because I have wings now. I don't need the chariot because I can fly with my angel wings. Because I remembered, I can only use my wings now because I remember I have them. You're like so much more powerful than you realize. And I think your passion runs way deeper than you realize. And your mission is way more impactful. It will be way more impactful than you realize. So the Four of Cups was like the thing that was missing, the thing that you weren't seeing. You're being reminded this year of your angel wings and of your soul's mission. Ooh. I guess I kind of abandoned, well, it is chronological, but when it comes to times of the year, I guess maybe that window, whatever it was, May to September, it doesn't really matter. Time doesn't exist, but it seems like you're starting off the year like trying to make a beeline towards a specific goal, and Spirit kind of throws you a curveball, and at first you're frustrated about it, but then it forces you to slow down and like look into this pond and remember who you truly are. And then even the logical part of you is convinced that we have to answer this call from Spirit. There's a big mission that we're destined for. We're creating heaven on earth. And then this is you at the end. Mastery, self-awareness, clarity. Yeah, wow. We have Cancer energy here. This is also Moon in Cancer and Sagittarius, which could be relevant astrological placements. These could be your placements, or they could be the placements of someone significant. And then what is the Nine of Wands? Oh, Nine of Wands is Moon in Sagittarius. Moon in Sagittarius and Moon in Cancer. Oh, wait a minute. That's so cool. There's like Cancer and Sagittarius, and then there's Moon in Cancer and Moon in Sagittarius. That's so interesting. Let me know in the comments if you're like a Cancer Sun Sag Moon or a Sag Sun Cancer Moon. That would be so cool. I also love the transition here of like the dark night sky, and then once you see who you are in the reflection, the sun is rising. But yes, group number 2, those are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also follow me on Instagram. I post weekly pick a card readings as well as new moon and full moon readings. And I also have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song. So if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other songs, the music channel will be linked down below. And finally, I do have merch. We have hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags, which all feature the beautiful floating temple from the intro of this video, and that will be at my website. All of that is going to be down below. So group number 2s, I'm sending you guys so much love, and much love to your spiritual team as well, and to your soul group, your tribe that you're calling in. Thank you guys so much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the Barite and the Tarot of Luck and Happiness, this is going to be a reading all about your career, your studies, and your money in the year 2023. So we're going to take a look at the general energies that you guys are dealing with throughout this year, and we're also going to look at a chronological series of events from the start to the end of the year to see what's going on for you guys. And we're also going to get personalized messages depending on where you're at on your journey and what your specific goals are. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Just before we get into it, I want to mention, if you guys do like the content here on this channel, I'm also quite active on Instagram. I post pick a card readings there as well, so feel free to follow me there as well. And if you guys like the song and temple in the intro of this video, you can listen to the full version of the song over on my music channel, and you can get merch with the floating temple on it on my website. So all of that is going to be linked down below, but without further ado, let's get into your reading. So to start off, I actually really feel called to roll the Astro Dice. So we're going to use these to get our first glimpse into the main energies that you'll be working with in 2023. Okay, so we have the number 6, which relates to the 6th house. We have Neptune. And we have the sign of Aquarius. Okay, so starting off with the sixth house energy, this is great to get in a career reading. What this tells me is that this is a year where you guys are really getting your ducks in a row. You're really getting your stuff together. Whether you're watching this in late, like the end of 2022, or maybe it's the beginning of 2023, I feel like planning is going to be really good for this group. And it's interesting because in the other groups, I feel like there was more of a message of like being open to divine intervention, being open to unpredictable surprises from the universe. And, you know, I think that in anyone's life throughout a year, there's going to be things that go according to plan and things that don't. But more particularly for this group, I feel like if you plan out your year very specifically, it's going to motivate you, because as you're writing these things down and brainstorming, you're going to get really excited, and Spirit's encouraging you guys, like, when you write down your goals for 2023, to maybe check in on them like once a month, or come back to them regularly, see how you're feeling, celebrate what you have accomplished, see where maybe you need to make some changes, make some tweaks in your plans. I just feel like planning out your year and like getting really clear about your goals could be a very enjoyable and very inspiring activity for you. I also think that this is going to be a year where you're finding really the perfect routine for you, and getting into your healthy habits. You may also find, for some reason, Neptune, there's so many meanings of Neptune, but a specific message that was coming to my mind with this is that some of you guys need more sleep, or you need to, there's like a fly going crazy right here. I don't know if you can see him, but you need to sleep more, or you need to change something up in your sleep schedule. Like, find a sleep schedule that works better for you. And what I think we're seeing here is that taking better care of your body, you'll find makes you more productive, makes you more motivated to work hard, improves your focus, improves your concentration. The sixth house does also talk about health. So I feel like taking care of your physical body. Why is this fly going crazy? Taking care of your physical body, making sure that you're resting well, it will really work wonders, not just on how well you perform or like how much work you get done, but like on your mental state and how enthusiastic and how excited you feel about work, your zest for life. I feel like your physical health could really influence that, and that was kind of the vibe that Neptune was giving me. But you know what? I also think that Neptune is talking about Spirit encouraging you guys to do a lot of like daydreaming. There's just a lot of daydreaming, a lot of visualizing, brainstorming, planning. I think it's going to be a really fun and fulfilling exercise for you. Maybe some of you guys will feel called to make like a vision board of what you want to accomplish this year, or maybe you'll journal it, or even like talk about your plans with a friend, because maybe speaking it out loud and then, you know, receiving that encouraging response from a friend or a loved one could really like pump you up. It's like Spirit wants you to get pumped up and know that it's going to be a great year ahead. I also just had a visual of someone buying a bunch of different colored folders and different colored highlighters and organizing their desk. So you guys could be reorganizing your workspace in such a way that you get really excited to do your work, like you're organizing something differently. But I feel like you're just like jumping into this year really on top of your game, really excited, really ready to go. Neptune will also be indicating or encouraging you guys to pay attention to your dreams, because they could have important insights about your career, about the direction that you're meant to go in. And also you could be receiving signs from like TV shows or movies. Like, you see what a certain character is doing for a living and you get an inspiration, or like something that one of the characters says could really jump out at you. Things like that. Pay attention to lines in movies. Or this could also be indicating that you guys will be in the film industry. You'll be doing something with like film or theater. You could also be doing something related to health or healthcare, or organizing. Like you could be an organizer or something for your job, or a planner, some type of event planner, or yeah, something of that nature. And then with this Aquarius energy, Okay, there's a lot coming up with this Aquarius energy. One of them is the humanitarian side of Aquarius. So what you're doing in 2023 is going to make a huge positive impact on your community. You're really going to be, I just heard like helping people get off the ground or helping people get back on their feet, making a really positive difference. This is also the sign of friendship. So not only will you be successful this year, but your friends will be successful as well. That's going to be awesome to celebrate each other's wins. This could also be indicating you making friends in the workplace or making friends with people who have a similar career as you. So, you know, if this were me, it would be like, oh, I'm going to make friends with more tarot readers in 2023, or, you know, make more spiritual friends. And then also Aquarius with that 11th house energy, this could be talking about networking. So making some, not just friendships, but like mutually beneficial connections. Well, you know what networking is. And then finally, Aquarius can talk about things that are kind of unconventional. So this could be confirmation or encouragement to step into that role that is a little bit, it's not a job that you hear about every day, or often with Aquarius or 11th house types of jobs, it's that kind of job where if you tell someone that's what you do, they're like, oh, really? Like, oh, wow. Like, I've never met someone who does that and wants to ask you all about it. Because it's not like a well-known, like the ins and outs of it, what goes on behind the scenes is not super well known. And I was going to say something else. Oh yeah, it's like modern jobs that maybe didn't exist like 20 years ago. So like social media could be an example of that. But it's Aquarius energy is new, it's innovative. It could also be you putting an innovative spin on a job that already exists. Like you're putting your own twist on it, and that's making you stand out from the crowd. So this is what I see for your Astro Dice. Let's get some more personalized messages for you guys, and we're gonna do that with the Apparition Tarot. And so from this deck, I'm going to be pulling 3 cards. One for those of you who are at the beginning, the middle, and the end of a cycle in your journey. It's very much up to you where you feel like you're at right now. And you could be in multiple places. You could resonate with multiple messages here, especially like if you're working on multiple projects. So please feel free to claim any and all of the messages that come out in this part of the reading. But just for an example, beginning of a cycle would be like we're looking for a new job, or maybe we just started a new job, or we just started a new field of study. Middle of a cycle would be we're doing the same thing that we were doing before and we don't really have plans to change it, so we're just cruising. And the end of a cycle would be we are looking to leave a job, or we just left a job, things like that. So I'll give this baby one more shuffle. And let's start off for my group number 3s with a card to represent the beginning of a cycle. The deck is behaving a little bit messily, so for those of you starting a new cycle, you could feel a little bit clumsy at first. It could take some time to get used to your new role. Yeah, and now the deck's taking time to give us a card, so yeah, she's clumsy. It's gonna, for those of you who are starting something new, it is gonna take some time for you to get the hang of it. And oh my gosh, and the Empress, I'm like, as I'm saying this, I'm like, what card is gonna come out? Like, please tell us it's gonna be worth it. Yes, with the Empress, it is most definitely going to be worth it. The Empress is related to the planet of Venus, as you can see here. Venus is the signifier of money and wealth, so we love that for you guys. It's also the signifier of love, and I think that in this case, it's speaking to your love for what you do. Interestingly, there's a shell on this card, and there was, what group was it? It might have been group number 1. There was another card with shells on it, and it was making me think of like listening to the subtle messages from spirit, almost like a high priestess type of energy. But yes, it seems like it might take you some time to get used to your new position, but it's really, really important to be patient with yourself, and not get discouraged, like if you're not good at something immediately. So you might be making mistakes, or you might be difficult to like get used to being in this position and feel like you're really deserving of it. Like you might be struggling with some imposter syndrome at first. For example, when I started my YouTube channel, I think I was pretty awkward. I think that's normal for YouTubers. Like somebody actually sent me my first video a while ago. They were like, I was watching this, and like they said something was funny. And so I started watching it out of curiosity, and like the way I talk is so different. The readings were like pretty short and awkward. I didn't really edit them, so when I finished the video, you could see me like jiggling the camera, trying to turn it off. It was just, I mean, I guess maybe it was endearing, but you know, just because you're awkward and bad at something starting off, it doesn't mean that you're not gonna improve. I think that sometimes in general, I feel like it's easy to get discouraged if we're not good at something right from the get-go, but also like when we have this idea of like spirit led me to this job, or this is like part of my calling, I feel like that kind of can add to the stress, or can add to the sadness if we're not getting there as fast as we would like to. I do see some tears here, so this could be speaking about, you know, stress, getting used to your new position. However, what I will say with the Empress is that anyone you're working with is going to be extremely understanding, patient, and gentle with you. So you're not going to be like having managers like yelling at you that you're not doing something right, or like it doesn't feel like a very high stakes or high pressure situation. It feels like you're in a safe and protected space, because this is a very like nurturing and loving and compassionate energy. And the people who, you know, have been there longer than you, or your new clients or whatever it might be, they empathize with you. They're like, I know what this is like. I've been in your shoes before. This is totally normal. So while you might feel stressed, and maybe with this 6th house energy, maybe you guys have a little bit of perfectionist side to you. But with the people around you, they're really going to make you feel like everything is okay, super patient, like let's try it again, you're doing great. And that support that you get is really just going to, I don't know what the word is, encourage you, cultivate you, help raise you from the professional baby. I think you guys get the picture. And then with the Empress, this is a huge sign of expansion, growth, as well as abundance. So it's gonna be worth it. You're gonna get the hang of it. Be patient, and really like, don't be afraid to ask for help, and really lean into that support. And if you're ever feeling like you're not making progress, look back on your old work so that you can see. Okay. Oh, I just noticed with the Empress, for this beginning of a cycle. Oh, okay. This is very specific, but some of you guys may be coming back to your job after a maternity leave or after a parental leave. And then you're nervous, like, what if I got rusty? And maybe even though it's like the same workplace, maybe they've, they've changed some things. They've like changed the computer system, or I don't know, things around the office, just like little things have kind of changed. And you're like, maybe you're extra emotional because like you've just had a child and you're tired, and it could be kind of overwhelming. And then like your coworkers are like, oh my gosh, it's okay, take all the time you need to get readjusted, like we're here for you if you need anything. And then everyone's being so nice to you, and then you get even more emotional because the Empress is like a mother. It talks about like childbearing and things like that. So I just thought that could be a specific message for some of you guys. It's like when I came back to Patreon, and Patreon had changed a bunch of stuff around. I was like, well, you can't do that. You can't just change stuff without me. Anyway, so let's look at our message. Ooh, for those of you who are in the middle of a cycle, we have the 4 of Wands. So things are going to continue to grow steadily from here, which is great because not all the groups got that message for those who are in the middle of a cycle. you are thinking of continuing what you're doing, you're comfortable with where you are, and Spirit is saying, yes, that is awesome. You are building stability here. You're manifesting your wishes. The candles are making me think of manifestation. The number 4, as well as this like enclosure, makes me think of like job security. Like you're safe, you're protected, job security, financial security. The 4 of Wands is also about contentment, joy. You're feeling really excited about what you're doing. Something might happen this year to kind of like reignite your passion or remind you of your passion. So, you know, assuming you are where you are and you're hoping to continue doing that, I'm sure that you like what you do, but Spirit is saying something in particular this year is going to make you think like, you see, that this is why I do this job. Like this is why I love this job. It's moments like this. And if that's a regular occurrence for you in your job, maybe 2023 is just going to be especially full of those kinds of things. But yeah, for those of you who are in the middle of a cycle, you're definitely in your calling, or you're in one of the careers that allows you to live out your calling, because your calling might not necessarily be a specific career, but whatever you're doing right now, it's definitely allowing you to utilize your natural gifts, your natural talents. And this year, your passion is just growing. I think you're continuing to grow steadily. Not slow and steady. It's not slow. It's like it's a decent pace. You're growing at a decent pace. You're growing steadily. The 4 of Wands talks about a happy home life as well. So you could be working from home in 2023, or you could be spending more time at home, more time with your family if you live with your family, or you could be making changes to your home, whether that's, you know, making changes to the interior or actually changing homes. But you're definitely going to be very happy with the physical environment that you're in. If you have an office outside of home, like if you're a company employee or if you're like a business owner but you have your own office, maybe you're like sprucing up the office or moving your office to somewhere more fancy. What else do I want to say with the 4 of Wands? I think that's it. You're happy, you're in alignment, you're on the right path, your passion is growing, you have security. I love that. We're just maintaining. Like in 2023, we're maintaining and we're continuing to grow. Okay, let's get a card for those who are at the end of a cycle. We have the 7 of Cups. Okay, so the 7 of Cups can indicate a feeling of being overwhelmed because there are too many options. And I want to note that this card came out very quickly, but I feel like that's more of an inner energy, like feeling like you want to hurry up, feeling like you kind of are rushing the situation. What I see here is someone who you've either recently ended a cycle in your career and now you're overwhelmed about what's next, or you're thinking about ending a cycle. So like you haven't ended it yet, but you're thinking about it. But what might be stopping you is like, again, not knowing what's next and being overwhelmed with all of the options. I don't know what that was, but that was spooky. Something must have fallen down. Anyway, so just to give an example of this, maybe someone is doing a certain major in university and they're like, I don't really like this anymore. I want to stop this. But they're like, then what do I do? Like, do I take a gap year? Do I just go straight into looking for a job? Should I try studying something else? Should I go to college instead of university, which are like two different things in Canada, but I don't know if it's a different thing in the States, but or other countries, but whatever. Should I go to like a vocational school? Should I go to community college or whatever? There's so many options to think about, and maybe you have in your mind like, I shouldn't end this cycle until I have a very clear vision of what's next. And actually, I think that if you haven't ended the cycle yet, you might be right, because there is that message from Spirit about not rushing things. But I think the answer will come to you when you calm down, because if you're just thinking about it in your head, like, what should I do? You're going to overwhelm yourself and you're going to exhaust yourself. And so this is Spirit saying, like, take your time and do practical research on your options. I was just talking about this the other day, but I think when the Seven of Cups comes out, this is a time to do practical research, because you will find the answers out there. You could maybe ask an expert, ask a counselor, do some internet searches, go to some like open campuses, whatever it is. Like, this is the time to practically go out there and gather information that will help you make this decision. And yeah, I think that there is no need to rush it. And the more you try to pressure yourself to make the decision or feel like you should already know, you're gonna overwhelm yourself. And I think it's the same thing, even if you've already ended this cycle. Like, slow down, take your time, and let the answer come to you. It will show itself to you. And I do want to point out the swirly on this person's third eye. The Seven of Cups is a card that reminds me of the crown chakra. And while I definitely think the answer will come to you, like, of course, it's going to come from your intuition. It's like, it's not fair. Spirit is saying it's not fair if you're just like sitting in your room and meditating and you're like, Spirit, please magically give me the answer. Because even if it did come to you, your brain is just going to doubt it. But if you actually go out, do research, like, okay, go and see this campus, or like go to a, I don't know, is there open campus for companies? I don't know, but like look at your options. That will help the download come to you, because you'll be like, I don't know, looking at a website or watching a video, and you'll feel very strongly like, this is it. And you'll have that visual in front of you. And then it will feel so much more certain. You know, like, let's say there's a company called Bob's Burgers. I don't even watch that show, but Bob's Burgers. And you're meant to work there, but you've never heard of Bob's Burgers. So if you're sitting in your room meditating and you're like, Spirit, what am I supposed to do? Are you really gonna get it if Spirit's like, you should go work at Bob's Burgers? Like, that might not work. But if you do research and you find Bob's Burgers online, and then you see like 1111 everywhere, and Spirit's like, it's that, and you have something actually in front of you, it's much easier. So it's like, go out there, look around, do the research, and Spirit will direct you to the right answer. But it's not fair to just sit there and expect the answer to come to you. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting. Okay, so, oh wait, it's not time for this deck yet. It's time for oracle cards to look more at the general energies of the year. So we're starting off with Every Step Counts. Watchtower of the West, Autumn. New Opportunity. Gaia, Mother Earth is always holding you. Lean on her, you are safe. Creative Calling, that knowing, that desire, a sense that something must be explored or attempted. And Unknown Portal, ooh, okay. First thing I want to mention, we have the number 22 here and the number 4, and 22 reduces to 4, so this is like double 4s. And I love that they're on either side of the spread, because the number 4 talks about security, protection, and divine guidance. So it's like the 4s are on either side, and they're enclosing all of this loving and protective energy around you. Spirit's definitely coming through very strongly to let you know that you're on the right path, you're protected, and no matter what, you're going to be okay. No matter what, you are going to be safe, you are going to be secure. This could also be indicating You could be a life path 4, which I think life path 4s are very hard workers. And you could also be a life path number 22. And this could be a date even, April 22nd, which I think is Earth Day, which is Gaia Day. So the month of April could be significant to this group, as well as the season of autumn, which I think if you're in the southern hemisphere, then April is in the season of autumn. But if you're in the north, it will be something completely different. But April and autumn. And we have another shell, and it looks very, very similar. Spirit's definitely speaking to you very, very strongly throughout this year, always guiding you in the right direction. I love that we have every step counts, because no matter where you're at, you are slowly but surely getting ahead. You're getting a hang of your new position, or you're making moves in your current position, or you're that much closer. You're always that much closer to finding out where and how to start your new beginning. Spirit's reminding you that you're always making progress. And I think there's something here about remembering to celebrate all of your victories, not just the big ones, but the small, mundane things as well. And to frequently look back on your progress. Even this person who's walking up the stairs, she's like looking back, looking behind her. I think sometimes it's important to look back and remember how far you've come, and remember that you truly have made a lot of progress. And I'm seeing a specific image of someone who's really stressed about finding their new beginning. And Spirit saying, like, even if you only, like, for example, even if you only applied to one company, or even if you only applied for one scholarship today, or you only, did research for 10 minutes, you're still that much closer to finding it. Everyone, like, no matter what you're doing, this is Spirit applauding you for your progress. I really feel called to read these two cards together, that there's going to be a new opportunity coming for you guys in the season of autumn. Whenever that is for where you are in the world, there's a new opportunity coming. We have the direction west here. That is, I'm just thinking of the zodiac wheel. That would be Libra. Like the descendant, the 7th house, which means that someone is coming in to give you an opportunity, but it will be one that you go and seek out. So it's very much giving the feeling of like you go to apply somewhere, you go to inquire somewhere. Because when we're in the 7th house, it means that like we go into the other person's place. So we go and make ourselves known and submit the application, and then they give us the opportunity. And I actually want to say, not just the season of autumn, but like by autumn, you will have this opportunity. That's how this is coming to me. With Gaia here, this could also be you guys, you could be doing a job that allows you to be outside, or that allows you to work with animals or plants, or something that, or like, I don't know why landscaping is coming to my mind, or like something, maybe you're working with the environment, and health is coming up as well. This is also a message letting you know that you're protected. And also with the globe here, it could be an indication of traveling or relocation. Maybe you're going to the west, maybe you're moving to the west coast, or maybe you're going somewhere west. So like, for example, I'm from Canada, but I moved to Japan, and when you fly there from Canada, the plane goes west. So you could be like traveling westward to your destination. I'm also reading these two cards together, Creative Calling and Unknown Portal, because, there's like this unknown, and then this says you just have a knowing. You just have a desire, a sense that you must explore this unknown portal. So maybe this is kind of a mystery opportunity. For those of you who are resonating with the 7 of Cups energy, this is it. Like, this is the new beginning that's presenting itself to you, and you get that download. Like, this is it, go for it. This is Bob's Burgers. Like, that Spirit being like, this is it, this is it. And then for those of you who are here, I don't necessarily think that accepting this opportunity means that you have to forfeit your current ones. It's just like something new to try, you know? Maybe it's like a new position within your current job, or a new platform. Like, to use myself as an example, this would be like, you want to start making videos on TikTok? And I would be like, no, but I don't know, something else that I would be interested in. But it's like a new project within your existing job, but like you've never done it before. Like recently I launched my merch website, and that was really scary. I have no idea how it's gonna go, but I just felt like I wanted to do it deep down. It's something like that. I don't know what animal this is, but for some reason something about blurry images I find so hilarious. I think it's because it reminds me of that Mr. Krabs meme where like things are spinning and he's blurry. I don't know, just blurry images make me laugh so much. Especially like taking pictures of my cats or like my partner's dog when they move and then it's blurry. It's just, oh my gosh. Anyway, that's not the point. Let's get into your tarot deck. So this is the Tarot of Luck and Happiness. And we're gonna get our chronological events. These flowers, I'm thinking florist, I'm thinking wedding planner, I'm thinking stylist. Okay. So we have the Nine of Swords. You guys are starting off the year with some anxieties. I can definitely sense that for these two energies, like, you know, getting the hang of your new position or trying to find your new position, that can definitely lead to some anxiety. Nine of Swords is that like overthinking, expecting the worst. Yeah, something at the start of the year is worrying you guys. Maybe like, for those of you who are like settled in your current position, maybe business just isn't very good at the beginning of the year, and then you're worried that it's, you know, what if this is a bad year, you know? Like, January. Oh yeah, that actually happened to me because I think it's something like in January ad revenue like dips because it goes up like before Christmas because all of the advertisers want to put their ads, but then right after Christmas I think it dips down. I think that's what it was, but I remember like seeing that there was a dip in my revenue and being like, oh my god, I'm tanking, like 2022 is gonna be, you know, a bad year, because you know your brain just goes there. Like, this is the Nine of Swords is like catastrophizing. This is the end of the world. You're expecting the worst to happen, but it's not actually true. The whole thing with the Nine of Swords is that it's not true. But then I remember Googling it and learning that, oh, this is just a thing that happens. Like, ad revenue goes up and down at certain times of the year. So there might be something in the first couple months of the year that, you know, maybe the sales are not as high, we're not getting as many orders, or, you know, something like that. And it's like a scare. What if this is a bad sign for the rest of the year? But I think it's just a little hump that you have to get over. Okay, and then we have the Queen of Cups. So maybe until Pisces season, so until like late February. So basically January and February, there might be something kind of fishy, but everything's gonna be fine. We have the Knight of Swords and the Four of Swords, which came out together. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Moon. Okay. So basically the main theme for you guys this year is Spirit is going to be helping you. Oh, the word obliterate is coming to my mind, which is very dramatic, but oh wait, first of all, this is similar energy to Neptune. Daydreaming, visualizing, fantasizing. But anyway, really helping you to clear away limiting beliefs. I'm hearing exposure therapy as well. And I tell this story sometimes, but I used to have a really debilitating phobia of cicadas. Like I would have nightmares. It was hard to leave my house in the summer. Like if warm air hit me, my body would like cringe because I associate warmth with cicadas. If I saw one, I would like hyperventilate. Anyway, you get the picture. But I did exposure therapy, which is like you look at pictures, then you listen to the sounds, and then you watch videos, and eventually you see them in real life and you're fine. This year I was chased by a cicada and I was freaked out, but I didn't like cry or anything. I was just, ooh, that was gross. And then I went about my day. So eventually I realized that my fears are bullshit. What I'm afraid of could not actually hurt me. And Spirit is helping you this year to clear away fears that you have surrounding your success, your financial security, your worthiness of abundance, your capabilities, everything of that nature. But Spirit is doing this through exposure therapy. So it's like you would be faced with the very things that scare you only to realize that they cannot hurt you. So for example, if you are a perfectionist and you're terrified of getting things wrong, or you're terrified of like letting people down, you would go through an experience this year where you are messing things up, where you're making mistakes, where you're maybe inconveniencing other people with your mistakes. And yeah, in the moment you might be afraid, you might be freaking out, you might be thinking it's the end of the world, but then nothing really bad happens. You learn from your mistakes and you move on. You're met with compassion and Spirit saying, see, that wasn't so bad. Like your brain built it up to be the worst thing that could possibly happen, but it was just a little hiccup. That wasn't so bad, right? And you're like, yeah, Spirit, you're right. And then through repetition of that, you will overcome your fear. So, for example, if I'm afraid of AdSense going down, like I'm gonna have a couple months this year that are lower than usual. And when it happens, I'll probably be like, oh no, my channel. But then I'll realize that I'm still alive. Nothing bad happened. And I will go about my life. And Spirit will say, see, it's not that bad. And I'll say, you're right, Spirit, it wasn't that bad. That's kind of the vibe that we're getting from the moon, because the moon is about fears, but it's also about illusions and breaking through those illusions. And so is Neptune, breaking through those illusions and also kind of detaching emotionally from the situation with Aquarius. Everything's gonna be fine, but you will be facing your fears this year. And so the things that you're afraid of will happen, but nothing bad will come from them, if that makes sense. So I feel like that's what this Nine of Swords is representing. The Queen of Cups, I was just watching a reading yesterday. The Queen of Cups came up and the reader was talking about, I don't know, it's just a really nice reminder of everything she stands for. She's a master of her emotions. Queens and kings in general represent this level of maturity and mastery. And you see, she's walking away from the Nine of Swords. She's like, walking away from anxieties, worries, overthinking. You can't get to me anymore. You can't hurt me anymore. And this is something happening in the start of the year. What did I say again? January and February. So we're getting over this hump, because maybe this is something that you guys are already working on, but we're getting over it at the start of the year. And then around the middle of the year, with this Knight of Swords and Four of Swords, things are going to start picking up. You're going to start to get busier in a good way. So things are picking up for you. Maybe this is when you're getting your opportunity, and you're learning a lot really, really quickly. You're learning a lot really quickly, and you're brushing up your skills really, really quickly. You may be multitasking quite a bit. You may be having to do several roles, or like you might be juggling several projects. I don't see you necessarily... Did we already talk about this? Maybe it was a different group, but it's like healthy stress versus unhealthy stress. I see you being in a period of like healthy stress, a decent amount of pressure, because there's a lot of stuff going on. You could also be doing something that involves a lot of paperwork, and there's like deadlines for this paperwork, or like writing essays or something like that. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna kill it. You're gonna ace it. But this is a time especially where that message of sleeping and taking care of your health is important. So, don't be the college student that is running off of coffee and instant noodles. I mean, if you can afford it. But like, do whatever you can to make sure that you're well rested. Like, don't be like, oh, Monster energy drink counts as breakfast, right? Like eat a proper meal and get proper sleep. Do what you can. Sometimes we're too busy. Sometimes we don't have the funds. Like, it's okay. But do the things that you can to take care of yourself at this time, because as you get busier, it's demanding a lot of like intellectual prowess from you, and it's demanding organization as well. And like, if you're reading through long contracts, or if you're doing a lot of paperwork, we want to be able to pay attention to the details. If you're sending out important applications and business emails, it would suck if you were like exhausted and you sent an email to the wrong person, or like you made a typo. So like, just make sure that you're on your game. And if you take care of your body and if you sleep, you'll be fine. So if you're watching this and it's the middle of the night and you should be sleeping, go to sleep. Don't watch the rest of this reading, or watch it tomorrow. Yeah, this is the kind of vibe. And also, if you work shifts, or even if you don't work shifts, if you're ever like overwhelmed or tired, if you're not feeling well during this time, don't be afraid to like ask someone to pick up your shift, or ask someone else to pick up a little bit of slack, because it could get a little bit overwhelming. But for the most part, I think you'll handle the pressure. I think it's healthy stress. And then finally, at the end of the year, we have the 10 of Pentacles. This could be indicating the month of October, because it's the number 10. But 10 of Pentacles is an awesome card for a career reading. The number 10 is like the last number of the minor arcana. So it represents a sense of completion. I feel completion, fulfillment, accomplishment. I feel like this is when you're really getting to reap the rewards of your labor. Even autumn is about harvest, like symbolically it's about harvest. I think this is when things are going to start slowing down, and you just get to enjoy the payoff. It is definitely a card of long-term abundance and prosperity. So we are taken care of for years to come. We have a healthy savings account. We're setting money aside for retirement. We're taking care of our family and our kids if we have that responsibility. We're taking care of our animals. Our bills are paid. Our appliances are working. I don't know why I thought of that. But like, everything's under control. This is a very stable, sturdy, reliable energy. So I feel like by the end of the year, you're just feeling really proud of yourself, really accomplished, and you're clearly doing quite well financially, because this is the 10 of coins. This is the maximum of coins. And yeah, there's also a message here about like family, and we had that message of happy home life. So like, your family's financial situation is improving, or like you feel you're taking care of your kids. I mean, not that you didn't do that before, but I think you get the picture. Like your family's all thriving is what I really want to say. Yeah, that's a beautiful way to end it, I think. So group number 3s, these are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also follow me on Instagram. I post weekly pick a card readings there, as well as new moon and full moon readings. So if you are interested, they'll be linked below. And I also have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the beginning of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below as well. And I also have merch featuring the floating temple from the intro. We have hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags, so you can check those out. I'm struggling with my words. You can check those out at my website, KINOtarot.com. All of it is going to be linked down below. Thank you guys so much. Once again, I'm sending you so much love to anyone you will be working with in the coming year, and lots of love to your spiritual team as well. I truly appreciate your support, and I wish you guys an awesome 2023 in all aspects of your life, and whatever you may be working on. I wish you lots of success, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.